Veterinarians in West Michigan reporting an increase in the number of dogs that they've seen getting sick from eating marijuana.
Yeah, Fox 17's Michael Martin has more after talking to a local family who recently went through this, Michael.
Yeah, guys, good evening. Some of the veterinarians we spoke to told us they're seeing almost a dog a day come in with what looks like a neurological condition, when in reality, many of these pets have simply consumed a bit of pot.
I was afraid she was going to die.
The Wass family relieved after a downright frightening situation last week after their dog, Tiny, somehow ingested some marijuana.
My husband and I had gone out to dinner, and when we got back a little bit before 9, my daughter carried her out and to greet us, and just very still and kind of had this weird look on her face. And I said, oh, maybe she just needs to go out. She's desperate to go out. So we brought her outside, and she kind of stood there, and her hindquarters got a little wobbly and started to sag.
Rita Wass knew something was wrong with Tiny. Her movements were strange and delayed. Now, this obviously isn't Tiny, but Rita says she was acting very similar. After going back and forth between several veterinarians who were so busy they wouldn't be able to see Tiny for several hours, the pup got in to see someone at Blue Pearl Pet Hospital.
Well, she's exhibiting a neurological condition. Her heart rate has dropped. Her reaction time is real low. It's like she suffers from some neurological toxin.
The diagnosis? Tiny must have picked up and eaten a small amount of marijuana.
Could she have gotten into any marijuana? And we just went, not from our house. So I don't know where it came from.
It's something that Dr. Marcia Carpenter of Family Friends Veterinary Hospital in Grand Rapids says she's seen many times before.
And we've actually seen that quite a bit over the last few years, actually, with it just being more accessible to people. So a lot of times they'll be really sedate or lethargic. They can be wobbly when they walk, but oftentimes they'll say the dog looks like it's drunk.
Friday by 9 o'clock in the night, she was fighting, she was eating, she was fine. She was fine, but it was scary.
A scary situation for anyone with a pet. Luckily, Dr. Carpenter says dogs who end up ingesting pot are usually going to be just fine.
Worst case scenario, they might actually go into a coma. Those dogs might need to be hospitalized for 24 to 36 hours and have a little bit more aggressive supportive care. But those cases are pretty rare. Most times they get into an amount that's just going to affect them mildly.
Now, Dr. Carpenter says if you're not able to get your dog or pet into a veterinarian quickly, another safe bet is to contact the Pet Poison Control Line. There is a fee for calling, but they have a whole lot of experience dealing with situations like this. We'll have info on how to contact them and other resources on our website and our article at fox17online.com. For now, in Grand Rapids, Michael Martin, Fox 17 News.